Hello, good morning. This is Star TV and of course the breakfast show. So we're glad to be back and we send our greetings to each and every one of you wherever you might be watching us from. My name is Sheikh Gay, otherwise called Lipsy G, and of course I am together with my co-host, Madam Jacqueline Kuli and Sarah Kamara. Good morning, Jacqueline. How are you?
Good morning, Lipsy. I'm very well. How about yourself?
I am fine, pretty much okay.
Thank you.
Now, how was your night?
How was the heat yesterday with the fast and all?
I will like seriously, when I got home, I was imagine I went home and I was indoors, but I can even at that time I was feeling the heat on my face.
Fans even the heat coming from the fan was too much.
You see this video that I posted on my status on WhatsApp.
Okay.
After Saddam near that man, glass I wish I could do the same thing because heat was that was too much.
It was too
How
much.
can one in charge demba? Whether pull or jola, I don't know, but are you sure?
No.
Because Limagaiwa, the name that they gave me, Lul to the Jola.
Seriously?
Are you sure it wasn't the Jola man?
That was Sarah Munio, because I don't want to argue. I don't want to start arguing.
No,
right
but to be honest with you, many people will agree with us on this. The heat was too much.
It was too much.
Why have ñun doomi adama mo mel non because tayle mu ngi sédon ñi yaangi complain dafa séda and stuff. Wow. Why anyway dal it's good. Sarah nu nañ la sigil hol Aisha. No dafa def Shara.
Morning, how are you doing? You okay?
Maggie fine, Maggie okay. I am good. I'm pretty much okay.
And how did you contain the heat on your
Delfondo?
On your Delfondo.
Somewhere on your guide direct.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm not you talk about my Delfondo.
What I'm talking about.
That's too much.
You know how much strategy I use, Jare. Zagdin.
Yes.
So before you mock langa ice bopa.
Exactly.
The last time I took a pic of my Delfondo and I posted on Facebook. Madafa Delfondo Jabari Buki. I'm Kubakol, but because I knew people will say something like that. So before I start go. But like I said, it's good to have you back.
Yeah, morning. Good to have each and every one of you back, and then also good morning to all the wonderful viewers, those who are also following us on the Facebook online. Those who are also following us on the Facebook online. We also say good morning to all of you, and also good morning to the technical crew. As you already know, they've always with us, trying to make sure that people have the best quality of pictures and also of audio. I know today the audio will be good. Yes, yesterday.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yesterday the audio quality was very bad.
Our wish.
Yeah, it wasn't our wish, and then we deeply apologizes for that. Yeah.
I called you yesterday. You saw my you saw the call. You didn't call me back. Someone was complaining. Manako, yes, I am the host, but Sarah is the MD. Dala bole mo muna tamale deglu sen programme mu neex trop the jokes and whatever, but man jaguma suma sañon dal ngeen tek anglais bi fele ngeen jël olof bi
xam nga lool mo leta sometimes dañ day cabaxal olof yi.
Wow, exactly loolu la ko wax
and especially topics that that is very sensitive, ak topics yi nga xam ne dafa am human interest, human connections.
dañ ko dee
so naa ngi topic yooyu noonu yëpp dañ ko dee def mostly in local language.
Yeah, pour gars yi
exactly.
In fact loolu la ko wax ma ne ko understand he was not the only one sax ki ma wax loolu, and I'm sure he na di nga ko dégg elsewhere
because suñu sañoon dinañ def Mandinka version, dinañ def the Wolof version, even the Sarahule version bi sax yëpp Njaago version bi, Jola version bi yëpp Jacqueline moom mun naa ñëw si Jola version.
Yeah,
seriously.
Many people they rely on the breakfast show pour ñu understand lan moo xew ci kayit yi ak yooyu noonu. Nga amoon na time nit ñi dañ dee ros sax pour dem jëndi newspapers. But now with the breakfast show, I'm sure na ñu bari duñ ko dee yaakamte jënd anyway. Because you just need to tune in, then you understand everything.
That is on the newspaper. Well analyzed.
Exactly. So sila ko explain lulu. Mano ko mota ding tire rah lulu. Why do just ne hidna lili tam dinañ ko ci def ak yooyu noonu parce que yow soo déggut àngale waaye am na keneen koo xam ne tam déggul olof. àngale rek la dégg soo dañ doon sóoraale ñaar ñi le moo tax waaye liñ ci nama rek mooy ñu am best of programmes su ko defee nit ñi understand ñu like ko bu baax a baax a baax parce que the feedback we have from the people is very positive.
It is.
Definitely jërëjëf mbokk yi ci loolu la ñoo jaare rek nuyu leen bu baax ci beneen yoon di leen tatagal di leen jaajëfalit ci programme bi muy di breakfast show ñu am mbégte lool dellusiwaat ak yéen ci anam bu rafet a rafet nag ñu seq ko Sara Camara muy di MD suma boss ak suma jigéen muy Jacqueline Koli ci biir kër gi li ñoo def rek mooy dañoo dem noppale ko tuuti ñu dellusiwaat and then when we come back we take a look at the marketplace. su ko defee ñu dellusiwaat ak yéen ci programme bi di breakfast show bu dee yéen a ñoo door a join rek yéen a ñoo amee fii ci Star TV ñu ne fii ci Serekunda Churchilltown ci Kombosila Drive su ko defee ñu doxantu ndànk dem seet li ci marché bi ndax nit ñi war a mën a sukkandiku ci price yooyu la ñu seet li nga xam ne moo fa xew ndax ñaareel li ñoo def rek mooy dañoo bàyyi xel ndax wécceeku am na ci prices yi nga xam ne moom la ñoo joxe waaye nag. ba tey ñu ngi jàpp ne prices yooyu ñu joxoon leen démba ci la ñuy sukkandiku bi tey ndax ñu ngi doon nemmeeku di seen ndax am na yenn wéccu yu ci am waaye ñu gis na ba tey prices yi la ñu ngi taxaw rek ci benn bërëb bi American bag of rice comme doon ñu waxee ko démba rek nan lañ ko waxee tey ñu ngi ko jàpp mu toll ci $1,500 sadam saako bu ndaw bi mu toll ci $1,250 saako bu mag bi lañ gëj a gis nag waaye biñ ko gëj a nemmeeku mu ngi toll woon ci $2,400 saako sukur ñu gis ko si $1,950 ak $2,000 saako liñoŋ mu toll ci $550 ci bi nga xam ne mooy moom lañ béyee ci biir réew mi ci liñ jot a nemmeeku bi jógee bitim réew mu toll ci $600 20 litre gallon bu diwlin mu toll ci $2,150 10 litre bi mu toll ci $1,200 5 litre bi mu toll ci $650 ak $700 muy ñaari diw yi la nga xam ne bii dafa nelaw ak budul nelaw Jacqueline nag budul nelaw la tàmm xam naa ndax su waree fray ginaaram boo ci gën a jekk dafa mel ni boobu la cee tàmm waaye nag li ñoo def rek mooy ñu seeti njëkk bi nga xam ne moom moo ne ci saako farine mu toll ci $1,950 dalasi am nañ nag gis nañ ku ko jaayee $2,000 tam ci biir réew mi saako pompiteer ci $700 kilo bi di jar $50 meat and bone muy jar $300 muy yàpp ak yax den beef muy ndawali kese bu raxul yax benn yoon muy jar $350 ginaar fukki ginaar ci benn carton ci $1,750 benn full ginaar ci $180 chicken legs kilo bi muy jar $110 muy price yi la nga xam ne nit mën na ci war a sukkandiku waajal boppam laata muy àgg fépp fu mën a dem ci tundi Serekunda wi le wala sax feneen fu mu mënti doon ci marché bi ndaxte na ko jàppale bu baax a baax ci loolu ñu jóge fa jaar fa di nuyu Ami Fall Ami's Classic Boutique and Utensils fële ci gannaaw ay samari cinéma ci yooni Membool bi nga xam ne ci gannaaw nga koo jaar dem seeti ko Ami Fall mën ngeen koo call ci nombre yooyu ngeen jàkkaarloog si screen bi su ko defee ngeen dem seeti ko ci kaas yu yaaja yeeg bool yooyu le xam naa nag léegi tey weeru koor yu jeex su ko defee ñu delluwaat si suñ kaas yi di naanaat tii di guux suñ mbor kénkiliba ak ni mel fii ci programme bi le su ko defee ñu jaajëfal leen bu baax a baax ci beneen yoon yi nañu ànd ak ñun ci breakfast show bi le ñu dem noppale ko tuuti dem ak break and then when we come back we'll have the newspaper review. All right, welcome back. It's time to have the newspaper review, and Sarah is taking through us in that, and then of course we will do some analysis later on it.
Okay, thank you very much, Lipsy. Today we have 3 newspapers, that is Standard, Fourier, and then the Point newspaper. On the Standard newspaper, on the front page, the main headline is ex-finance minister tell assembly to investigate OP over missing $669 million. We also see Sidin Jai's nomination as security committee chair spark row in parliament. Bailo trial begins in Germany, while moderate journalist Son eyes justice as first Jongola trial starts in Germany. Also, we've seen on the Fourier newspaper where their main headline is 65-year-old nurse assistant alleges a verbal sacking after 37 years of service. Government refutes allegation of assigning portions of pristine land to U.S. Embassy, Banjul. Parents worry about their children's education as Fonyi Border Village School remain closed. Transport Union President urges government to review Motor Traffic Insurance Act to address traffic accidents. We also seen High Court judge refuse lawyers' request to release alleged murderer. Alleged ex-member of Jammeh's former special hit unit tried in Germany. And the question of the day for the Fourier newspaper is there any sign that Barrow will institute a cabinet reshuffle? And then on the Point newspaper, their main headline is Parliamentary Business Commences Sidinjai heads Defense Committee. And also other headlines, traffic accident, GTU calls on GPF not to enforce insurance on roads. And then other reports, the government awards over $74 million in contracts to companies unapproved by GPPA. Finance Minister Njai addresses V20 ministerial dialogue, and Justice Ministry welcomed Bailo trial in Germany. So these are some of the headlines we have on the newspapers. I think we start with the Standard newspaper. And then if you look at the Standard newspaper, that's the ex-finance minister, of the Gambia, we all know, Amadou Sane, talking about the $669 million which are missing, and he said it has to be investigated, that the office of the president should be investigated. That's the former minister of finance, Amadou Sane, has challenged the National Assembly to investigate the office of the president over the missing $669 million in accounts managed by the presidency, as revealed by an audit report of 2017. Mr. Sane, who was in office at the time, said the Assembly should take up the $669 million as its first tax to make sure the signatories are held accountable, especially the president, who should take responsibility. A National Audit Office summarized audit report on the government 2017 financial statement has already revealed that the government made withdrawal amounting to $669 million without approval from the Accountant General. The report says the money was withdrawn from the special security accounts, which were closed on its audit recommendation, but were reopened with the same account name but with a different account number. Since the publication of the report, fingers have been pointing to Amadou Sane, who was the finance minister when the withdrawal were made. But reacting to the auditor's finding yesterday on the Standard exclusive, Mr. Sane said the reported withdrawal of the $669 million is news to him, saying throughout his time as minister he operated based on the 2017-2018, that is approved budget. However, he said there used to be a security fund under former President Jammeh, and we said this should be closed because these funds were never audited and nobody dared to ask Jammeh what happened or where he got them. So when we came to office, it was decided that the accounts should be closed, and we had hoped the account should not have continued. But if the auditors have revealed that it is existed in 2017, that means the same Jammeh style still continue, he told the Standard. Well, I think the $669 million is controversial.
It is
controversial. Because since the auditors make mention of this, people have been talking a lot, and then we've also seen fingers have even been pointed to the then finance minister, because he was there. He was the one, running the financial operation of the government, and now he is here telling us that he is not aware that this $669 million is just news to him. So at the end of the day, one would, ask, what was he doing? As finance minister,
Yeah.
because right now, if he's also pointing fingers to the presidency and then saying the National Assembly, should investigate them, the National Assembly should investigate both the presidency and also both the then finance minister, because he should be aware of this magnitude that this is happening.
He should be aware. He should have been aware.
Yeah.
Perhaps maybe he's aware, but he wants the blame to be put on someone else.
Exactly.
One thing I want to say is, if you see all this coming up, there's no transparency.
Yeah.
In the Ministry of Finance,
Yeah.
because that huge amount of money being transacted and the Accountant General does not know about it. I mean, it rings bells.
Yeah.
It rings bells. So perhaps he knows something about it.
No,
When the investigation starts.
Yeah, maybe if you're part of the wagon and then you're part of the boss, these things have been happening. You pay deaf ears to it, and right now you're not part of it. Now you want to exclude yourself and then put the blame on somebody when you were in charge of the finances.
During that era, during that time.
Yes, exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So pointing fingers. What he should have said was, let the National Assembly investigate the whole process. That he is willing, even to be investigated, to shed light on it. But to say investigate the OP, and you have been the finance minister, you distancing yourself from the investigation.
And I think one thing as well, because I think because he's saying the security that fund, that special security fund account was supposed to be closed.
Yeah.
That's what he said, and it was later reopened with the same account name but with a different account number. I think this is where he's trying to play the cards, because by saying it should not have been opened, but again they do not even know. When the balance of the closure during the audit of these accounts, and then of course statements were not made. Also, it was not provided as to So I think
there have been some embezzlement of funds, because I know by every year there must be reports written as to what happened and what transaction were being made.
Yeah.
So there's no transparency. Are these funds being embezzled in the Ministry of Finance?
Yeah, even when the finance were made, they said, they didn't know whether the funds were used for approved budgeted activities because the statements were not provided. That's what they said earlier on. So, and then the finance minister, the former finance minister, is saying, that account was recommended to be closed, and now it is reopened, and then it's with the same account name but a different account number. That's what he's trying to say. Meaning he do not know, just like you're saying, he's just trying to put himself out. But then people will start to ask questions, come landlord on deaf and
because what I'm saying is, if I thought that this thing happened, in 2017, 2017, 2018, and then looking at the magnitude of this, money, I think it's not only the OP, it's everybody that was involved, the finance ministry, even the accountant general, everybody, should be investigated so that people will know what really transpired with this account and why was this account, open, and then where did they get this money and where is the money? Because I think the former finance minister is saying he don't even know where the money came from. Because he did not provide, a security fund of this magnitude, which is $669 million.
Yeah, and then withdrawals, not only after them getting office, withdrawals, length of withdrawals were made even by the time Bim Neki office, I think, because that's 2007, and then by then he was the former finance, he was the minister, the finance minister then, and then the thing is, okay, whether it was recommended to be closed or not, understand whether it was closed or it was not closed. Though it was recommended, but whether it was closed, don't you think so? Yeah, because it was recommended. Then after that, a follow-up should have been made to see whether the account was, closed.
The finance ministry side, I think he should have been the one to give the orders for the account to be closed and reopened. If it was closed and reopened without his knowledge, I mean, that's his job then. Is he not playing his role as he should have?
Anyway, all I know is people will continue to ask questions.
Yes, exactly. People will continue to ask questions, and then people need these questions to be answered. And I think the National Assembly will also, do their investigation, find out what really happened, and then come back to the Gambian people and tell them this is what really happened. This is where the money is from. These are the people who open it. These people are responsible, and the money went into this and that, this and that, this and that. Yeah. And now away from that one, we've also seen Sidin Jai's nomination as Security Committee Chair Parker Rao in Parliament. As the 6th legislature holds its maiden sitting yesterday, tension rose between oppositions and incumbent lawmakers over nomination of Sidi Njai as chairman of the Defense and Security Committee of the National Assembly. It came as the National Assembly Selection Committee, chaired by Speaker Fabian Tomonjata, laid its report on the selection of names to serve in the various committees of the National Assembly for the next 5 years. The committee recommended, among others, the nomination of Sidi Njai to serve as the chairperson of the Defense and Security Committee mandate to perform legislative oversight on the Gambia security apparatus. Njai was among the 5 members nominated by the President in Parliament. However, his nomination to lead the Security Committee was met with dissent by the opposition, many of whom recommended independent National Assembly member Mohamed Kante of Busumbala, a former superintendent, to chair the committee. UDP Latrikunda Namia Sanyang charged that Mr. Njai has no background in security to lead such a complex committee, saying you cannot appoint somebody who is himself a security threat to the country to serve as the Defense Committee chairperson. Sidi Njai is a security threat. He should not serve as chairman of this, important committee. Bakau Nam Asanture also opposed Mr. Njai's, nomination, calling it misplaced. Kombo Isnam Abu Sow accused the selection committee of bias. He said the members slotted themselves into the highly prioritized committees, consisting mainly of the elected NAMs instead of new lawmakers. And then we also see in the Talinding NAM, Musa Baji, charged that a defense committee of this legislature should not be manned by persons who are going to be controlled and micromanaged, adding that he does not believe in Sidi Njai's ability to effectively scrutinize the operation of the security institution under a fragile democracy. We also see in Kombo South Nam, that is the former majority leader, Keke Barrow, also contested the nomination, saying experience should be considered in selecting persons to lead committee. Busumbala Nam, Mohamed Kande, said the selection was not guided by sincerity, rules and regulation of the standing order. He said he has 15 years experience as security personnel and knowledge in laws that has put him in pole position, to best serve as chairman of the Security and Defense Committee. There were also methodologies, that guided the selection process. But however, if you look at the other side also, we've seen the NAM for nominated NAM, that is Keba Lang Fofana, said Sidi Njai has served his country with distinction, and that his lack of background in security cannot be used as a yardstick to determine his capacity or sincerity to serve as the Defense Committee chairman. He said he believed that Sidi Njai has the experience and the expertise to serve as chairman of the committee, as he was in Parliament before, and that will be better than having someone with a security background but no experience in parliamentary matters, Fofana said. Alaji Mbow of Opasalum, who is re-elected under NRP, said he has no problem with Sidi Njai, leading the defense and security. The same thing, similar contributions were made by APRC NAM, Suleiman Jame, NPP Biram Sow of Nyamina West, respectively. So there was push and pull, regarding whether Sidi Njai, should man that position. And then among them, we've seen opposition saying, okay, Sidi Njai is a security threat. He has no experience when it comes to security. We see the other side say, no, that does not determine, whether you have to man it yet. As far as you have the experience of parliamentary procedure, you'll be able to man that position. Yeah.
But I think I will agree with the group that said he has no experience, or he has no, he doesn't have knowledge about security. Okay. I mean, when you're given positions, you should determine the person's capability of running that particular position, the person's expertise, the person's knowledge on what he is going to do. I think I agree with other crew that said, and I also agree with the other part that said, like, he is going to be used as a tool because he is from the president's cohort. So I think I kind of agree with them. I don't know. For me, I look at it at a different view. Okay. Looking at the committees there, we all know that when we are electing National Assembly members, we don't consider these things.
whether security, he was a security advisor or not, whether he was an accountant or
but that should count. That should count, don't
because
you think?
National Assembly members, immediately you have your qualification, grade 12 certificate and other stuff,
then
you are qualified
to be a National
Assembly member,
Yeah.
despite the fact even if you have never hold any position
Yeah.
At all.
in your career, you can be a National Assembly member.
Exactly.
All right, so you have different people packed there. All right, what about now if we don't have anybody who don't have any security related career?
Yeah, if you don't have it, it's fine.
Yes.
But
So
if they are
that's
present,
why I said now to say it has to be based on somebody who have experience. What about you, a National Assembly member that you don't have? Nobody has experience there.
Yeah,
I think these are committees.
Yeah, because
I agree with you that
Yes.
it shouldn't be based on that. But
Exactly,
those criteria, don't
Yeah.
you think, should be involved in selecting?
If
Those criteria
if you're
should
going
be
to
put in place.
yes, if you're going to involve that, it's going to make the work of the National Assembly very hectic. You know why? Because at the end of the day, you are telling me that those who are going to stand for National Assembly members, at least some of them has to be security experts.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
at the process of being nominated or being elected as
Yeah.
a National Assembly member, but
Yeah.
at the process, after everything, after everyone is elected, after we all know who is representing
Yeah.
who in constituency,
Yeah.
perhaps these criteria should be put in place.
But what about
Before selecting, chairmans of each
what about
committee.
if you don't have anybody there?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Then those criteria are not going to
It's
work.
fine, but I'm saying
Yes.
that at least those criteria should be there, don't you think?
Yeah.
If they are not
No,
there, then
no, no,
the
we-
select.
no,
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 you
I
cannot
think-
put criteria that that at one National Assembly it is going to be applied. The other one
Let's
is
let's
not going to be
use the word
applied.
At least.
Okay.
No,
At
yeah.
least have
No,
this
you've all
criteria.
you've all got a point. But what Sarah is saying here,
It's going to be difficult,
it's,
honestly.
it's something that you need to
Yeah.
look at. Imagine if you have a full house, with no a full National Assembly, and no one within them has a military background, a security background, or whatsoever. They don't have that expertise. Then what will happen? Obviously, you'll have to select someone, and that someone
That's it.
will not be the one to have what you're saying. And then
But having expertise, I think, is a plus for everyone.
no. We are saying if it happens, yes, fine.
Yeah.
Yes,
But if it happens, if it
yes.
doesn't
I'm
happen,
not
that
saying
is
it
not a
must
problem.
be put in place.
But that
I'm
is
not
why
saying it must be
that
put
is
in
why I agree with Alaji Mbow of Upper Salom,
Okay.
who said, the emphasis should be based on the composition of the committee, but not who heads it.
Yes, exactly.
You understand what I mean?
That's what I also wanted.
That is why experience counts here. So that's where emphasis should be based on.
I think Sidinja has the experience.
Yeah.
He knows the parliamentary procedures. All right, because it has been there before.
Exactly.
All right. Now, looking at the composition, let's say now the composition of the committee is just like, okay, you are the president.
Yeah.
All right. But being the president doesn't mean that it's only your views that has to stand. You have people who are working under you.
Okay.
Their contribution matters more than even the chairperson.
Let's take this for an example.
Yeah.
There is no school on earth where you have to go and study how to become a president.
Yeah.
Amut.
No.
Either you are a doctor, you are a carpenter, you are a nurse, you are a footballer, whatever, after you into the political arena to become a president.
Yeah.
And then so a president, sa cabinet bi, singa de jele people with expertise on different areas, understand? And that composition more they form a very good government.
Yeah.
That is why when something is not working fine, those that surrounds the president, he needs to reshuffle his cabinet. He needs to do that because composition is not helping, because Nympha in place are not definitely doing the job like it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Mota, I said I concur with that man, because if you take a look at it properly, the effectiveness of the committee does not rely on the
head.
the rest on the chairman.
Honestly,
but at least the composition of it,
Yeah.
the chairman should be someone who got that experience.
I know that
the chairman.
CD will be taking a lot of bullets. You know why? Because since his nomination, it was been opposed.
Yeah.
So any position that they want to give him at the National Assembly, is going to be opposed. So sometimes I would say, is it based on the interest of the country, or is it based on the interest of their political parties?
No, if
you see,
yeah.
because here we've also seen someone also said, well, if Sidinja is Sidinja is security head, he's going to be control you know, by forces outside there.
Yes, exactly. What Yaya Sanyang said.
Yes, and I think he also had some point there. That is, the UDP NAM also had a point there, despite the fact that, you know, CD is nominated and he's nominated by the president. So they thought that, okay, CD would not 100%, you know, be, you know, neutral. Yes, exactly. Especially when it comes to issues, you know, that matter to the security of this country.
Yes, exactly. Kula abal butam fu ko neex ngay xolé
waaw
man suma la abalé ay butam fu ma neex ngay xolé so fofu la gaay di jëlé wax bi ne su nekké ne Sidi Ndiaye mo head that committee then obviously Adama Barrow moko indi nekko ne nit ñi ñoko elect then lu neex président mi la mo def ñoom fofu la ñoo waxé ba ñun tam li ñoo explain moy comme li Opa Salom sen naam bi wax loolu tam mun naa nekk parce que li gën a am solo mooy ñiñ dajale pour ñu nekk ñu form that committee su xam nga soo jëlee ay mbaam ak yi nag boole leen ñu nekk ci benn affaire ñooñu xamuñ dara lu mooy xam nga rek yaa xam waaye soo leen jëlee ki leen gën a tane mu nekk fa tam wasalaam but li ñoo explain fii mooy wax ji dina bari trop because gis nañ that Yaya Sanyang mu ngi wax ne Sidi Ndiaye is a threat. Is it because mu ngi jël the example during the former regime Sidi Ndiaye was someone who stood on his feet to say Jammeh was not moving an inch? Is that the reason why we believe that Sidi Ndiaye will be a threat to chair that important committee?
Because he said that he's a security threat. All right, and then we all knew what happened. You know, during the impasse. You know, because we've seen Sidi Ndiaye defended, you know, Jammeh. You know, when Jammeh was here, right? And at the end of the day, Barrow couldn't even swear here. Barrow has to swear in
Dakar.
In Dakar. So many people, you know, still now sees Sidi Ndiaye as somebody, you know, who is a loyalist of the then president Jammeh. But you know, here is a person who shifted allegiance. You know, despite the fact of what happens, he shifted allegiance, you know, to the present government. So still now, what happened during the impasse is what people are measuring on Sidi Ndiaye. That's why it will be very, very difficult for him at the National Assembly. Honestly. He will receive bullets. We will
have to take a look at the news, honestly. But at least it is good. Bangegis, because Bangegis, the speaker, will come up with something, you know, very, very, at least very, very good by telling them, you know, they need to keep the spirit of togetherness.
Yeah, but I also like I also like the route that happens, because what happens is telling me there's not only a rubber stamp parliament.
That is what we call a vibrant National Assembly.
At least there are push and pulls, you know, before they come and argue at one common goal.
Yeah, that's what we expect. But at least, because like I was saying,
by then, during those days of Jammeh, we will not say, okay, Zaglin is the chairman of this, yes, agree. Lipsy is the chairman of this, agree. That's what happens.
The speaker said light on all, you know, what we're arguing about by saying, no, they need to keep the spirit of togetherness, because chairman so headed the committee that doesn't mean he is above or other members as well, because it's going to be a teamwork.
It is a teamwork. It's going to be a team effort.
Which means competition be more important than
because I know that there are a lot of committees there. And you know, and all these committees, you know, are going to be headed by, you know, individuals there.
I am going to tell you, another committee, finance or whatever, that background.
That background, well,
it will happen.
And I think what we want is let all the committees, you know, perform, you know, extremely well.
Definitely.
Because I think the previous committees, you know, really perform extremely well. You know, let them make sure that anything that happens, you know, those institutions are called at the National Assembly and they are scrutinized, you know, so that we know what is happening. Because we know that security of this country, you know, is something that, you know, that we should not joke with. Especially right now, what is happening, you know, around our our borders, around Fonyi. Exactly. Now, we also seen bylaw trials begin in Germany, but we will bring that, on a special report with Al Jazeera. The trial of bylaw in Germany.
Okay.
Now, over to the Fourier newspaper, we've seen almost about a 65-year-old nurse assistant alleges verbal sacking after 37 years of service. That is Nyalin Danso, a 65-year-old satisfied nurse assistant at the Basse Health Center, said she was verbally sacked from work by her superior after 37 years of service. The 65-year-old said she last received her salary, that was in October 2015. Nyalin, who said she lived in Kobakunda in the Basse administrative area, said she has always worked at Basse Health Center from 1979 to 2016 as a senior nurse assistant. She said she currently suffers from spinal tuberculosis and the effect of stroke, which rendered her paralyzed. Nyaling said, first and foremost, she fell sick on 15 September 2016 and was admitted at Basse Health Center before she was evacuated to Dakar, Senegal for treatment. Then after spending 4 months in Dakar, she went to get her salary upon her return, but was told that there was no payment for her at Basse Health Center. I then went to the officers at the regional health team, where I met Lamin Sise and Ibrahim Balde. I narrated to them that I was not able to get my salary, and they assured me that they will find out the reason why I was not paid. She said that she spent some time without salary and later returned to the above mentioned persons at the RTH only to be told that she was terminated. He said, I asked them whether it was my salary or my work that was terminated, because I have spent all my life at Basse Health Center, and with all the work I did, I received nothing but verbal termination without retirement or other benefits, Mrs. Tanso said with emotion. She further added that she has not received any document that shows she is officially sacked. And I quote, she said, I do not even have any social security document for any scheme. She added that she was also told that her name was not in their system, and therefore she cannot receive salary which she used to receive at her trust bank account in Basse. How is it possible that my name is not in the system when I was receiving my salary at trust bank account? She asked. She said the services she rendered at the Basse Health facility has not been honored because she even worked overtime on several occasions before she became ill, when many were reluctant to do so. She further said that her complaint has been taken to the Ombudsman office on 2 occasions and was promised that her salary will be paid, which is yet to be done. I have not received my salary up to now, and I do not even have a pension benefit after all these years of hard work she sought. Ms. Danso, who was emotionally overwhelmed, said her children who came from Europe have requested from authorities to at least give her a pension letter to facilitate her treatment abroad, but to no avail, and has been moving in between various government offices for assistance, but to no avail. She said she has written retirement letters to her seniors but received no response so far. Mrs. Nyalin Danso really needs urgent help. This is what really happened to this, to this woman.
I cannot believe this.
This is extremely sad.
This
all right?
is serious.
And I think the authorities, should take this thing into consideration. If the Minister of Health, Samate, is watching us, he has to put this thing into consideration. And then I know he will come across this, because he will not be a minister who don't read newspapers. Because if you went and they bring Fourier newspaper at your office, the first story that you see here, the 65-year-old nurse assistant alleges verbal sacking. And I think any minister who sees that, under your department, you should question those people why this thing is happening.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think they should help her, because you cannot just terminate somebody verbally just like that. Somebody who worked for you for 37 good years. If you're terminating that person, make sure that you give the person official letter of termination and also retirement benefits. The person has to have benefits. Who worked for you for 37 years, sacrificed for since 1979.
But one thing I cannot understand is,
since 1979, and maybe he was, what I would say is marginalized. You know why? Because according to her narration, when she was sick, she was admitted at the Basse, and then she went to Dakar for the treatment. She came back, trying to get her salary. They said there's no salary for her. Was it because she was sick? That's why they don't want her to pay her salary, or was it because she's sick? That's why they push her out of the system.
Even if she was sick, that didn't warrant them not to pay her salary, because she was due for that.
Yeah.
You understand? And perhaps she took a sick leave, and we all know when you take a sick leave, I think you receive salary because it's something that is natural.
No, but when you are sick, the place that you are sick, the hospital even admitted you.
Yeah,
my friend.
They are aware
about
that
her
she was sick.
Exactly.
So why deny her rights to the salary?
Honestly.
The office of the ombudsman should also try and help this woman, because she said on 2 occasions.
I think these are issues that the health ministry should look at.
Yeah.
The welfare of their staffs. The welfare of their staff is very, very important. All right. Don't only look at the medical facilities where there are equipments, there are medicine. No, look at the staff, because at the end of the day, if your staffs are not happy, delivery will not be 100%, because when we talk about customer service, we're talking about both external customers and internal customers. The external customers are people who comes to you, but the internal customers are people who work for you. If the people who work for you are not happy with you, they're not happy with the system, at the end of the day, the service that they're going to deliver is not going to be 100%, and it's going to affect you.
The sad thing about this, the whole thing is, I cannot understand this, because Bena, we are talking about someone who has 43 years of experience on her belt. That is not 43 days.
No.
Because if you took a look at the period 79 to 2016, we are talking of 43 years of experience of service. Just like that verbally. And one thing I can understand as well is, what do they mean by saying his name is not on the system? Understand? How was he paid?
She said she was paid through her bank account.
Exactly.
Yes,
and that can only be done if her name is in the system.
Yes.
So what are they trying to explain?
This is funny. Then lan mo daan dugal xaalis bi foofu noonu, because salaries ñëpp xam nañ salaries su ñëwee am na ñoo xam ne maybe dañ leen dee fay, because dañ leen dee fay direct to the account. They go to the accountant, then mu fay leen. Some people ñu dee fay ci account bi di office bi seen boppa ñoom ñoo dee dugal xaalis bi foofu noonu, then mu jël ko because ñu ngi amee details am and everything.
Lipsi xam nga loolu moo tax nit ki anywhere fi nga xam ne yaa ngi fay liggéey, make sure ne transaction buy happen between yow ak sa boss yëpp is documented. Gis nga bu liggéey ci place bi nga xamante ne at the end of the day your salary is not being paid at the account, not at the bank, because so at the bank this is mean there's a transaction that is happening between the office and the bank, and if you investigate it, it will go back to them.
Loolu yëpp dëgg la sax Sarah, but that's very true. But
ba pare he make mention of this social security benefit, because at least su fekkente ne anybody who's working for the government, at least you have a social security number. No matter, any staff should ask for your social security number. Ndax sa xaalis baa ngee dem. Your monthly contribution, because at the end of the day, that is what is also going to benefit you. Why right now, for mom, amut ko.
Because loan is going directly to your provident fund. And then mom.
Then it means deduction. Bugadon deduct mom from her salary. From them.
And right now, it seems they're going to deny her the right to the chance of going abroad for treatment, because she said she wrote a letter of retirement and it has not been responded, and I think she needs that in order to go travel abroad and do her treatment. I mean, they're just not been fair.
I don't know whether they've got two systems, because Benavi, they said his name is not in the system, and then she was being paid money to her account. And then the name is not in the system, so
ridiculous.
It's crazy.
It's just ridiculous, and I know that I will urge Samate, if he's watching, or
Samate must have seen this.
If Samate have seen this copy, at least let Samate do something about this, because this is very worrying, honestly. Now over to the point, because we've discussed some of the stories here. That is the transport union. Tomorrow we will have Balla here with us, and then we've seen also where on the Point newspaper, where on the same traffic, accidents, where the GTU, that is the Gambia Transport Union, calls on the Gambia Police Force not to enforce insurance on roads. Every vehicle has an insurance, right? But now, the Transport Union president is saying, police should not enforce these insurances because if you look at it, insurance companies are not doing their work, are not doing their job. According to the GTU president, he said there is a great need to take drastic steps towards addressing accidents. He said it is therefore necessary to review the Country Motor Traffic Act as well as the Insurance Act because those are laws that have been in existence since colonial days. He said we have many vehicles on our roads today and almost all of them are with valid insurance covers for both passenger vehicles and goods. He says nothing. We are urgently calling on the Gambia Police Force not to enforce the insurance on our roads because many Gambians are not benefiting from insurance cover.
But enforce that law on insurance on our roads.
No, because he wants the insurance company to enforce because most of the time
not to enforce.
You know why he said not to enforce? Because someone to the fire in an accident. At the end of the day, the insurance company be besona. They will not even give you a single butut. At the end of the day, drivers, both private and both commercials, are not benefiting.
They're not.
But what he should have said
are
is
not benefiting from it. I've seen someone.
The number of insurance paid is 1,200.
Yes,
I know.
Every year.
Every
How many
year.
registered drivers do we have in the country?
Yeah.
About tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands.
All that money being paid to an insurance company, it yields them millions. And according to the Insurance Act, according to Bala, the last time what he said, if you insured your car, your vehicle, you and the passengers on board should be compensated.
Yes.
You understand? But that is not happening.
That's not happening.
Insurance companies are just losing money from these drivers.
So that is why
he said
the police should not enforce.
That's why he said
not enforce.
Police. I've seen a driver who even a private driver who even quarreled with a police officer on the highway. He was asked insurance. He said, "I'm not going to provide any insurance because how many times I've brought vehicles here and my vehicles have been insured. My vehicle have accident. I don't receive any compensation from any insurance company. So why do you want me to go and pay for insurance?"
No, but he got it wrong. That man got it wrong.
Yeah.
That is the law. He should
Yeah.
He got it wrong.
Yeah.
He got it wrong. Digala. Insurance companies. The last time when we were talking about it, I said it myself.
Yeah.
Because these conventional insurance companies or insurance companies, they enriching themselves. Yeah. Because though I'm accident, they will not compensate you. The following year, I've said it myself. But that doesn't mean that you're the insurance. It is a law right now. You have to have it.
But
he got it wrong.
Lipsy.
But I think he should have been corrected by saying.
No. If I told that it is a law for drivers. To insure their vehicles. It is also a law for the police to enforce the insurance companies to pay vehicles.
This is what I agree to. This is what I agree to.
Yes,
that's what Bala should do. But
if you go to other countries,
that's what I'm saying.
If you go to other countries, for example, it's only in the Gambia that if you hit a pole, but you go to other place, you hit a pole, all right? They take it up with the insurance company. It's as simple as that. Insurance companies here. Insurance companies here. Insurance companies here are enriching themselves.
They are.
Enriching
themselves. That's the only thing that they do.
I am telling you.
Enriching themselves and then leaving the drivers and the passengers at their own risk. When accident happens, you should compensate the driver and that of the passengers on board.
That's what
the act says. But that is not happening. Bara, as the president of the Gambia Transport Union, has every right to say this. The police should get up and help them.
Because Bala is complaining. Bala is complaining because he is the head of the transport union, and most commercial drivers are complaining to him that this is what is happening to us.
I agree. He's the voice of these drivers.
I agree. But what I am saying
if you don't have an insurance, They park you.
I agree, but what I'm saying is not because they've not been compensating drivers.
No, but
or
sometimes,
whatever.
sometimes
That doesn't mean
no.
you will not
Lipsy,
have it. You should not have it or whatever.
Lipsy.
That is wrong.
Sometimes you need to take drastic action
But
to
not
achieve
to
something.
break the law.
How many times?
But not to break the law.
But how many times the law have been broken by the insurance
That
companies?
doesn't mean you too have to break the law.
And nobody is talking about it. No, Lipsy, no.
Yeah.
No, honestly.
But even though,
Lipsy,
that doesn't mean you're not
Lipsy,
going to break the law.
If I'm not breaking the law and you are always breaking the law, and now you want me to uphold and you don't want to uphold,
No, man,
what do you want me to do now?
What I am saying is, I
That should be
concur with
equity.
Lipsy.
Yes. Man, lima Sarah for that day.
Are you working for any insurance
No, I'm not
company?
working
Are
for
you
insurance
agent for any
companies.
insurance
But
company?
I'm just Jacqueline, they got this conversation between the driver and the police. Was that okay? It was not. That doesn't mean you're not having your doco provide. And in fact, Lena Munako understand. Being a driver, police because
you know why?
Let me just come up with this.
You know why I said that? Because policy, then law when them insource a vehicle by force. They are in one way or the other, enriching the insurance companies because they force you to go and get insurance. All right. So the same way nula muna force pour you nga dem register. The same way laga muna force insurance companies. Let them compensate you.
Hana law be changed, but the way it is now, they will force you to go and insure your vehicle because that is the law.
And they should force the insurance company to also pay you.
No one is disputing that.
They're still doing that.
Yeah, no one is disputing that.
They're still enforcing drivers
Because that is the law.
And yes, and October,
they send their press release.
Right? Lol digala. Anga exactly lima wax moy.
They send their
policy by force dañu def lol because lol moy loi bi.
Liñu wara
insurance company bi tamit dañu wara jox nit yi sen compensation.
Bañuma lolu. No lol
right now what the police supposed to do, especially mobile traffic, luñu wara def mo nek because they should gather all insurance companies. Ñu wax leen ne su fekkente ne ñun ñu ngi enforce drivers yi pour gars yi dem register si yéen.
Waaw.
All right. Yéen tamit any accident bi nga xam ne happen on the road. ñun we will make sure that yéen ngeen fay ñi on their benefits. All right. Then su fekkente ne that cannot happen. Then what will happen is we cannot force these people to go and insure
at least
your vehicle.
When accidents are happening, they are involved.
Yes,
Before
they are involved.
Taken to the hospital, they are involved. The police also should make sure and inquire whether the driver at risk has his vehicle insured. If yes,
they inquire.
should do the follow-up.
Thank
so
you
that
very
the
much.
driver and the passengers get compensated.
I am not disputing that. Lolu police dañ ko wara def.
But they stop at where they stop is only solving the issue of the accident.
That's it.
Then you buy like
who's supposed to be charged?
Who's supposed to be charged? They engage this insurance company.
But they already know, okay, this vehicle is insured. And if you have an accident and your vehicle is not insured, they extra charge you.
Yes, they do that.
All right.
Anyway,
so they should go a step further that, okay, your vehicle is insured, and then now we will help you with the insurance company.
To cut the story short,
do that.
I agree with what you're saying. Then you want to engage these insurance companies to be paying compensations. Parce que nit ñi ñu fay and ñu ngi am damages and they are not compensating. That I understand. Why lima wax moy police enforcing the law or telling you to go and insure your vehicle, it is only because it is the law as we speak. Lool motax police di ko def.
But the law is two-way.
Yeah. Unless we change. But as far as change it or whatever, if this is what you should have, they will tell you to go and have that. Why I will also agree with you that they should engage these insurance companies to be paying compensations. It's not even correct. You can see traffic all the time. So even police send bop and you get for wrong. Sometimes taxi driver, they will take your driver's license, they will take your insurance, which is not correct. In fact, what they should be giving you is memorandum, but they should not get hold onto your document. Yeah. So these are things you have.
Why are they even holding? Why do they even hold?
They don't have right to do that, and they are doing it. So these are the things. These are some of the things that are not normal going every day. But lima homoy degala bala limo cry understanding dolu non. He's just trying to.
So we will have Bala here tomorrow. Exactly. Bala will be here tomorrow. Exactly.
I know he's watching. He usually watches. So
the beauty about this is I'm not your you know, some people are in the offices, they're watching us by their, you know, mobile phones or whatever. A driver,
Yeah, you are right.
Police, exactly. So that's the beauty about it.
Exactly.
We're just trying to share our thoughts on the matter.
Exactly. We take our last piece of news on sports on the Standard newspaper, where Algeria's coach risks CAF sanction over Gassama comments. Algeria coach Jamel Belmadi could face CAF sanction over his recent comments about Gambian referee Papa Gassama ever since their elimination from the World Cup playoff to Cameroon. Algerian football authorities and media have been peddling unfounded theories about Gassama handling of the match. No one but the Algerian football authorities found fault with the referees who won the Africa Best Referee Award 3 times in a row. But according to respective media, Ave Divine, the Algerian coach's recent words regarding Gassama has not gone unnoticed, and many international journalists, notably Sharif Sajo, have accused him of inciting violence. Others have termed his word xenophobic. During a controversial media outing Sunday, Coach Belmadi said, "I met Gassama at the airport in Turkey. I could not stay indifferent seeing him sit comfortably on a sofa taking coffee. I had to empty my bag and tell him who he is. I am not saying we will kill him, but we cannot leave him in peace." CAF has very strict laws regarding violence of any sort, and Algeria tabloid La Gazette de France now fears the coach may be sanctioned. He should be sanctioned.
He should be sanctioned.
Because
he should be sanctioned.
You cannot threaten people like
honestly, you just cannot threaten, you know, people like this. And it's only the Algerians. They are the only people who have found fault in that game.
Especially in Papa Gassama.
If you look at that game, there's no fault in that game.
There's no
honestly.
There's no fault.
Yeah.
If there was a fault,
Papa have not done anything wrong in that game.
If there was something wrong, then FIFA.
All people who've watched the game, both, you know, neutral fans, you know, they all agreed.
The only intensity that happened in that game was between Cameroon players and Algerian players, because they were kind of misbehaving on set and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Papa Gassama, we all know, he even received a congratulatory message from FIFA.
From FIFA.
Yeah.
FIFA acknowledged that
the way he handled.
So
if something was wrong,
dispute that.
Then
imagine the attack he got at the Algerian airport, even on his way to his hotel. It was
but again, we have to take this opportunity. We have to take this opportunity to
and I know the Gambia Football Federation will also write to CAF.
That is what I want to say.
They will write to CAF or write to FIFA regarding comments, you know, made by, you know, this coach, because at the end of the day, this can even threaten the lives of Papa. Because you don't know already. You don't know where he's going to meet, you know, Algerian fans. You don't know. You know, it can be anywhere. So he should be protected. CAF should make so from now. Every game that Papa, you know, officiate, especially in Africa, you know, because he do officiate a lot of North African games.
Exactly.
Any game that he's going to officiate, whether at club level or at national team level, he should be protected. He should be protected because this coach should be sanctioned or even banned.
Because I'm talking about the Gambia Football Federation. I saw on Instagram earlier this morning there is this particular, they an online GamFood transfer. They always deal in sport. It's a sport online kind of stuff. And the question that they raised this morning is, why is the Gambia Football Federation and the Ministry of Youth and Sport quiet about the threatening of Papa Gassama's life? A lot of people have been commenting that when you remember Maguette, the referee of Senegal, he was also threatened.
He suffered the same thing.
Came out, and condemned
it.
So they're asking, why is the Gambia Football Federation quiet over this?
No, they should not remain. They should not remain quiet. I know. By Kamara says he's going to have an interview today. You know, with the sport minister, and then among the things that he's going to ask the sport minister is, you know, regarding, you know, threats made to Papa Gassama.
This is we are talking about one of FIFA's finest referees. You know, Papa Gassama is they got to protect. One of the best. He should be protected.
Part of best of the best.
Best of the best.
Let me say that, best of the best.
Now over
second to none in this country.
Yeah, definitely.
So definitely.
That's all for this edition.
Yeah. And then if you take a look at the comments we had on our Facebook page, the Sanjay said, it's so sad, but it's Gambia. Maybe it's about that
lady.
The lady. And then someone said, the Gambia government departments don't keep proper records.
Yeah. That is about
Should
the
be about,
finance ministry.
exactly.
Definitely. I agree with him. We don't keep proper records.
Yeah.
I mean, if records have been kept, we would have known where is that 669 million being,
exactly.
and why was the transaction happening and stuff like that.
Exactly. All right. Then let's go for a break. That was it, right, for the newspaper?
Yeah, that's it for the newspapers.
All right. Up next is the is with Jacqueline, the news that trend on social media. That will be right after the break. The Breakfast Show. Good. All right, welcome back. If you just joined us, you're getting us live from Star TV, and this is the Breakfast Show. It's time to take a look at news that trend on social media, and Jacqueline will take us through.
Thank you very much, Lipsy. Of course, we will begin with news from the Alcamba Times. And the Gambia under 16, as you all know, they were preparing to go play for a UEFA and FIFA, under 16 championship. And their visa was denied. Now, the Gambia Football Federation has announced that the Gambia under 16 girls national football team is denied a visa to travel to Luxembourg for the three-nation UEFA invitation tournament. Now, according to the federation, this was a result of the current restriction placed on the Gambia by the European Union. Now, GFF and UEFA said the organizers of the competition has intervened and treated the matter as a special case, but the Belgian consult denied the request as it falls short of the 45 days requirement request process. Now, the tournament that is initially scheduled to take place in Leicester has been moved to Luxembourg, and GFF said UEFA has assured them that they will try to avoid such scenarios for future competitions. This refusal to grant a visa to the team means the entire Gambian delegation of the 26 people will not travel for the tournament set to take place between the 25th and the 30th of April 2022. It's quite a setback, tragedy for the whole, footballing nation of the Gambia. What say?
Yeah, I think we should try to avoid such. Was it cause of a delay or what?
Because of the sanction that was placed on us by the European Union.
On the migrants?
Yes.
Oh my God. Then I think we should not complain.
Why not?
No, we should not complain because we said, okay, Gambians cried, that, government should not allow Gambians to be, deported. Mm-hmm. And then among the criteria, I think, is, if I'm right, is if they don't sign these documents, there are going to be sanctions, on certain areas.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I said then we should not cry foul.
Yeah, but FIFA said they will do everything possible to avoid such scenarios.
Yes, FIFA can do everything possible, but this is, one of the setbacks that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if you say, okay, don't deport our boys, and at the end of the day, those people say, well, if you don't deport your boys, make sure we make sure that certain things applies to you. And now they've enforced one of them, which is now this team is not going to participate in that event, which is a very big setback.
It is. After all the preparations,
honestly.
and stuff, it's a setback.
Yeah, it does.
For the girls.
That's why I said, well, we should not complain. We saw it coming.
And how long will we continue to suffer from
that?
Maybe
I think FIFA should work on that. FIFA should make sure that tell the European Union, that place football is not part of it. Sports is not part of it. The national teams is not part of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, unless.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's something else.
Yeah. Let's take a look at another story. We are going straight to Afghanistan this time around, and the Taliban, which is a rebel group in Afghanistan.
Jacqueline, what are you doing in Afghanistan, Jacqueline?
It's trending on social media.
Okay.
Especially on TikTok, because it has to do with TikTok.
TikTok, okay.
Yes. The Taliban orders TikTok and pork ban for misleading youths. Now, the Taliban has ordered a ban on video sharing app TikTok and online multiplayer game pork, insisting they were misleading Afghan youths astray.
Yeah.
Now, the militant group said it will also ban TV channels from airing what is deemed as immoral material. It comes after recent bans on music, movies, and television soap operas. Now, the Taliban promised a softer approach to government when it took power last year, but it has increasingly curtailed freedoms, especially for women. Now, the group was known for their severe version of Islamist rule that characterized their first stint in government between 1996 and 2001. This is what is happening.
No, the Taliban, when they came, when the Americans left, they promised that they are a modernized movement, a modernized organization, that some of the stricter, laws that they have done before, they are not going to bring, those laws. That was the promise that they made. But we've seen they are not, going according to the promise that they made. Yeah, because people still now fear, because they have stricter laws, in dealing, with this thing. I've always known that, TikTok and other apps will be banned. Will be banned in Afghanistan. So I ask myself, how long is this going to continue for the people of Afghanistan? Unless Taliban were there and they were removed. We have a government, which was there and controlled by the American. Now the American withdraw their troops. That government falls apart. The Taliban takes over again. So the Americans have done nothing to alleviate the suffering of the Afghanistan people.
Yeah,
honestly,
definitely.
All what they have done is create problem in Afghanistan. Honestly, because for me, I haven't seen any reason why they should have been there in the first place. Because you remove Taliban, you have your own system of government there. At the end of the day, you withdraw your troops. Taliban came back again. What were you doing there?
Nothing.
The Americans?
Yes. What were they doing there? Honestly.
Man, as a young youth that is so modernized, that is so into technology and stuff, I cannot imagine my life in Afghanistan without
honestly,
all this social media, no movies.
No, it's not only you. It's not only because when the Americans were there, they were modernized. They were using all these things. Girls were going to school, doing whatever thing that they wanted to do. All right. But now imagine those people who were there, enjoying all these things, enjoying all these rights, and you just come one day. You're not going to do any of these things.
Yeah.
It's quite serious.
It's quite serious.
They're just trying to, I believe they're just trying to protect the youth.
Sometimes even female journalists are being targeted,
No, this is the concept they have.
I don't know.
Girls should not go to school, females should not do this, they should not do that or whatever. That's what they believe. Afghanistan, you remain in the country, you cope with the situation, or you move out because they are in control. And some of
maybe let them go and borrow the book of North Korea.
And some of these laws, you don't expect them to lift these restrictions anytime soon because they want to they want to have their own system to take effect.
These people are there to stay.
And believe me, these are people they're called extremists because their beliefs are different from others. They want to change the lives of people according to the way they want people to live by. So the thing is, they're just trying to open the door for you. You be in the system, you be in the country, adopt to the system, or else you move out. But if they said girls are not going to school, let's say for example, Westby and then other countries within the Arab world, they should do that. They should let girls to go to school or whatever, and then they're not doing anything about it. So that means they are not ready to back down. They are not ready to change whatever they believe it should be in place in Afghanistan. So some of these laws, especially TikTok, we all know what TikTok does. They were so quiet, they were so calm. TikTok more than you speedy. Understand? And if you're doing something lo hamne then it's against is against Islam or against their preachings, then obviously they will not condone that. Yeah.
Definitely. Let's take a look at this story, and this one I'll be asking some questions. From anxiety to excitement on the Alkamba Times, that is the Brikama Bar Mini Stadium. It is finally beaming with the new artificial turf. Moments after the Gambia Football Federation announced the laying of new artificial turf at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, pictures of the playing ground went viral as Dal Batimat at El Service and Newman International laid the green synthetic artificial turf at the Box Bar. Football fans in one of the most densely populated cities in the Gambia welcomed the new immense glee amid a fresh sense of rival, rekindling and famous Box Bar Stadium, where the absence of the standard turf saw the community unable to play its annual Namatan football tournament. Now the anxiety of a lost season for football-loving fans now disappears, replaced by a new glimmer of hope for a much-loved game. Sarah, I think I'll first ask you this question. Why did you? Because the GFF, it's not been long that they signed the contract with these people that laid the artificial turf.
Yes.
And people were saying, this is not a work that will take forever. It wouldn't even take 2 months to complete. Why did the GFF delay this work when there were funds already from FIFA to do this work? These are the questions that people have been raising.
Yeah, but I think the GFF are the only people who can answer those type of questions.
Yeah.
You know, why they delayed this thing, because nobody knows. Maybe also the funds were not there, because remember they also there's an interview in which they said not all the funds have been secure yet. So nobody knows. But they're the only one who can, you know, talk to you. Or sometimes, you know, you can give a contract to someone, and then the person promise, okay, we will make sure that the work is going to be finished at that time, and then they fail. And then when you ask them, they'll tell you the material that we needed, you know, we have to order them, you know, and then it's taking, you know, time, you know, for the materials to reach here. So sometimes
you got a point there, because there was a time you know, some of this delay, they were just, you know, they were saying they normally have problems with even the consultant.
Yes,
you know, to
exactly.
do some of this work. I think they've changed from one consultant to another, and then dafa jël time, because if you take a look at the contract, dafa nekk in phases. Phase 1, phase 2. That's where you have the flux lights. That's where you have, you know, renovation of toilets. You know, rebranding the stadium. You know, laying artificial stuff, general parks or whatever. So in phases that they on. So I'm going to delay several times, and I think some of this cause na I'm difficulty or changing in a consultant, because they don't work with this man or this guy, then work with, for some reason they've changed, and then you them second or whatever. But they need to come out again and then explain, because at least now this thing is coming to be a success story, because Gisnang Box Bar Mini Stadium, everyone wants to go there now. People can't wait any longer to attend.
There is hope for football.
Exactly, to start
in Brikama. The nation of football.
Yeah. Nation of thank you. It's the most densely city in the
West Coast,
and I think it's the home of football. Like
you know, one thing I like about this West Coast people, they support what they own.
Exactly.
Whether you like it or not, and that's the truth. Whether it's music, if you're from Birkama, they support you. We've seen it with Jaliba, we've seen it with Tata Dendeng, we've seen it with ST. If it's football, we've seen it with great teams.
No, we can say, because Birkama, they support their own, and I like that. I love that in them.
Anything from Birkama. Even my next minister lives in the man from Birkama. That's what I will say. I will get a mosque.
No, maybe me and you will go and find a house in Birkama.
No, West Coast region, they support their own. To be honest,
support their own.
To them, that's thumbs up.
And let's move to another story now. This is raising a lot of eyebrows. As you know, it's a deadly disease, and the WHO is worried. There is a new Ebola outbreak declared in DR Congo after a single case was confirmed. Now, according to the WHO, this is the third outbreak in the province since 2018, and 14 Ebola outbreak for the country since 1976. The WHO said. My battle time Ebola newly broke out. people like Sarah were very, very, very scared that they could
Right now, I am looking at where the map of Africa is.
Okay, how close is DR Congo to us?
No, don't worry. DR Congo.
How close is DR Congo to us?
This is not a new disease in DR Congo.
Yeah.
Almost every now and then.
I know every now and then DR Congo have been having this thing. But what is
it? It can be easily
transferred. Exactly.
Even if the person is dead, touching the dead body can infect you.
Exactly.
That is how dangerous this
And
disease
people
is.
traveled. Businesses.
No, why? Come on. We should be worried about it. But DR Congo, they know how to fight this disease, because for them all the time, then they disappear after Munyowa.
Then they don't know how to fight the disease.
No, wait. No, what I mean is when there is outbreak,
yes.
they know how to control it, because Sinko control don't obviously do disappear. And if they disappear for over 2 years after Munyowa.
I've seen the map.
Yeah. So what I am saying is,
are we close?
No, we are not close.
Yeah, no, we are not close. Don't worry. So they're going to be close. Don't worry about it, because they've been having this outbreak, and then I think the nearest one we have got was Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea, and then Congo. Almost every time, and that's where this virus even originated from.
Yeah.
So if you go there now, they will not have that fear as we do, because they've been living with this, they've been experiencing things like that. It's different from the Gambia. Astaghfirullah, so now when you see a case, then obviously, so it is a matter of within a minute, because hamunko. But DR Congo, they know how to fight this. They know how to control it. And I am telling you, anytime soon, I can
remember when Ebola was closer here. Even in church, we stopped shaking hands. In church.
Exactly.
Yes. We stopped shaking hands in church.
Everywhere.
And we do that when we are, showing each other the sign of peace. We give each other hands.
Then
all that stuff.
So how were you giving?
After that,
how were you shaking hands?
You just peace be with you. Peace be with you. That was it.
Yeah.
We don't even get close.
Not even elbow.
Not even
like COVID.
Perhaps we do that. I cannot remember clearly, but then even social distancing. There was social distancing in church. We are doing social distancing before coronavirus came
exactly,
in the church.
Exactly.
That's what we do. Yes.
And I'm hearing in China, it will come in international reports. Don't worry.
Okay.
Boy, China, don't tell me another whatever of COVID.
Well, they are trying to see how to control it now.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go to the Jamuna Times and see the story. It's quite similar to that of Sirinjai's story, but it has to do with Fatimata Jawara. Now, she said, I humbly withdraw that statement, and a Kiang West MP backpedals on his attempt to have Fatimata Jawara removed from Security Committee. Now, Fatimata Jawara warned on Monday, that was yesterday, that she has the capacity in any committee of the National Assembly that no amount of intimidation can stop her from serving. Now, the Kiang West MP, Lamin Sise, provoked the nominated MP that she doesn't have the background to be in the Defense and Security Committee of the National Assembly as the MPs deliberate on the makeup of the various committees of the House. Now, Ms. Jawara complained to the Speaker that the Kiang West MP was putting words in her mouth that she said she doesn't have the capacity to be in the committee. That's what we're saying. Like I told you.
Yeah, honestly. For me, if Sidinjai can have it, what is stopping Fatimata Jawara from being there?
He was asked to withdraw his words even, and then which he later did.
Yeah.
Because Munulo attacked Nikki just like that, and then he was just trying to express his beliefs.
Yeah.
But Fatimata was bold enough to say no amount of intimidation, more common shut down, and then or distract from doing what he's supposed to do as an MP.
Yeah.
So obviously, that's the spirit I like about her.
I'm seeing this National Assembly to be the best National Assembly we're going to have.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because the confrontation, the debate, and all that stuff.
And already started so well. I mean, they're not letting things slide.
Yeah,
you
honestly.
think this is not right, you get up and defend it.
And then and one thing also, lo hamna Fatimata Jawara sah mu gina what that with anger or mu respond to that or whatever. This is, we're talking of an NP from the UDP camp. And then Fatimata Jawara understanding the history that she got with UDP. Even recently when she was defeated, she was bullied They mocked him. She was bullied. They mocked her. A lot of things were said about her. Then believe me, they are just looking at him, looking at her to know. With that eye, she cannot succeed. She should not be in the National Assembly because this thing, where the leader said, she is that loud mouth, and at least she will not go back there. Then all of a sudden, mu bounce back. She got that God sent. Mu ñew rek am nga melni yalla ñewal bopam bo yalla yonewut dafa ñewal bopam ligay tax yalla ñew na yonewut whatever, then mu ñewat back mu bounce back to the National Assembly. So su ko ki waxe lu rek dafa gis bopam dafa fakk na UDP ñoko nek di attack still, so dafa respond.
Let's take a look. Talking about sports, we were talking about Brikama supporting their own, and Brikama United is now edging point with Real Banjul on league standing. Real Banjul have done so well for themselves throughout the league season, during round 1 and round 2. They were number 1 on the table. They've been there for a long time, not coming down. But now Brikama United have leapfrogged them in the league standing and are now on, number 1. Following their nil-befitting goalless draw against Morimo last night at the Independence Stadium. Now, the Satiba boys are now leveled on points with Little Banjo on 29 points, but a superior goal difference propels them to the top of the standing. Little Banjo, however, recorded a shocking 1-0 defeat in the hands of Elite United. The defeat for the White Boys gave chance to Brikama to either move 2 points above them with a win or level with them with a draw. The league is getting interesting as the day goes by.
Have you been going for night matches?
I've not gone for night since the league started. I've not watched a single match, but I've been watching the highlights on the GFF page because they're always doing it, covering it live. But I think this league is going to be one of the best leagues we have seen so far. From number 11, they are now 7.
Number 11, they are now 7. Remember the last season you said. Next season we are going to defend the title, which I said it was impossible for you to do.
I'm not defending. We are trying 11%.
Do you want to say you're defending?
Sarah, what's the?
Are you defending from behind?
We're coming.
Okay, you're coming. Sarah, what's your take?
What's your team of? What's the team that you support?
Here
in the league, yes.
The first division league.
In the first division league.
Yes.
You should know the team that I support.
Which team do you support?
You should know.
Now I'm asking you.
I'm Real Banjul, don't worry.
You're Real Banjul?
Yeah.
Well, I see Brikama stumbling on.
Yes, I'm always Real Banjul.
Are you
Real
Banjul because your president is Real Banjul?
No. I'm always Real Banjul. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm behind Willie. Willie Abraham.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's take a look at one more story, and this has to do with football legend Didier Drogba. As you all know, the federation went into conquest, and Chelsea legend, he lost the race to become a new Ivorian football federation as he was disqualified.
Disqualified for what?
Yes, he was disqualified, and the reasons were not known as to why he was disqualified, but Didier Drogba was disqualified and he lost the race to one of the greatest.
What was he competing for?
The FA presidency.
FA presidency.
Yes, their football federation presidency.
They should have given it to him.
Why do you think he should?
They should have given it to him. Drogba contributed a lot, in Ivory Coast football, even in bringing peace in Ivory Coast. Didier Drogba champions that through football.
Yes.
Honestly. So they should have at least, given him something back. And I know, if Drogba was at the helm of affairs in Ivory Coast, as Eto'o is in Cameroon, you have seen a lot of changes, a lot of development in Ivory Coast football. The presidency is supposed to be given to people who love it, people who contributed their own money towards it. You know, a lot of FA's presidents fails. Why? Because the people at the helm of affairs, never had the interest of it, never invested their money in it. But here you are talking about a person who was a footballer, who was even taking his own money, his own salary, to inject, in football in Ivory Coast.
No, this time round.
Eto'o and Didier Drogba are example of African football.
Yeah.
They are the icon of African football, honestly.
I think he helped his country to stop the war.
Yeah. True football.
By then he was at Chelsea.
When he organized football matches there, and
but this time round,
I even remember when he organized football matches. Then he said, okay, in the region, where fighting was, between the rebels and the military, and everybody came to the football match, the rebels, and the military. At the end of the day, they all watch as one, united as one. He achieved that.
Yeah, but this time round, okay. The thing is, he was eliminated in the first round of voting. That is the issue here, because it was three of them. It was three of them. You don't vie for the position.
Does the others have any footballing background?
I don't. I don't know. But the thing is, he only received 21 votes, and then this Yasin Idris Jallo got 59, and then Sori Jabato got 50, and then Yasin went on to win the race. So this was the reason why they could eliminate. But if you take a look at it, last year I think they won put out for the presidency, but I'm on the required support from the clubs.
Fognane, they're fighting him.
Yes.
That's it. The same way they were fighting Eto'o. Eto'o, when he came to the helm of affairs of Cameroon football, even still now, the Minister of Youth and Sports, they are fighting Eto'o. Even Roger Milla, has to utter some words. Was not even pleasant. Why at the end of the day, therefore apologize. Who was the minister, for Eto'o, not to lead, Cameroon football, because Eto'o has contributed a lot.
We have seen what he's done.
Why so holy during the African Cup of Nations in Cameroon, Eto'o was sidelined because President Bifum talk, FIFA president, ACAF president, Eto'o was not there.
Yeah.
So you see, and no, dafa metti won ñu bari inside fofu non. So these are not happening because ñi nga xamantene ñoo nekk doon football dañoo foog ne okay former players yi the moment guys su ñëwé rek all right ñoom luñ doon enjoy gaa di ko amaat because xam nga nit ki yow yaa ngay wax ne for example okay being the president of the FA or being working in the FA is just a voluntary job. All right, because you are not receiving any salary. While at the end of the day, the compensation packages is more than salaries. Lolu more they keep guy for. That's why they fight for it. Here, you young King Hamilton is filthy rich. King Hamilton, the fight jail alalam defco in football. Why can you bring him in?
Exactly. That's my problem. Kini, Drogba, with all the support, being just the national team.
Honestly,
the players. Understand? Deka bi si bopam munuma imagine koku non mu ñaka am the required support from clubs, from interested groups, from coaches, from associations. ñu jokko lolu.
It's crazy.
Abu ko on mu ngi am the chance bu FIFA intervene and they dissolve that committee. They dissolve that federation. After you know to put their house in order, the guy resolve everything. That's where he got the chance. Pour mu ñew. Then mungi amon that encouragement from the crowd. People were telling him that it is you. And then Mutahu vote me up to 21 votes. Someone like Didier Drogba.
I once said here, Manelane, football, then that one is a fair game, it's a fair play. Football is not fair. It's not fair in the process of electing people at the helm of affairs to run football. Because at the end of the day, all right, national team, what I'm saying is taxpayers' money. FIFA should go and revisit those things. It's taxpayers' money.
Anyway,
at the end of the day, anybody who is been selected there, at least we should have a say there. But how can only a few people have a share in that?
In who leads the federation.
I'm afraid I'll have to cut you there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Time, and then internationals are yet to come. And
I will only take one international. That is Gambia.
Yeah. Somebody like Drogba. Goron nañ ko jox chance like sama ito ni amé chance.
I want us to talk about this before we move to the internationals. On Sunday, as we all know, OJ Jallow, his former politician, he has been sick for over 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Everyone knows about that. Now the president took the courtesy of visiting him together with Musa Yeli Bechili and some of the Ayatollah people. Yeah, they went to visit him, and I think it's a very good move for the president to do. This is what we need: unity. Let us put our political differences aside and see ourselves as one, to be united as one.
Gis nga OJ, whether people agree with me or not, dafa am teranga.
Yeah.
Teranga weesuut nga nekk xale bu daw di work in the government at the age of 30, in his early 30s. OJ bu nga nekk minister, ñun Dipakunda la juddoo and Sarakunda benn la. Gis nañ OJ naka la meloon fii nii ak suñ oncle yi suñ papa yi ak whatever. OJ dafa enjoy during Jawara's regime, nekk minister, people celebrated him. Hundreds of tooma la OJ am si diggante boobu nekk fi ba nguur googu jeex Yaya Jammeh ñëw fi mu sonal ñu tooco ko jéel ko def ko lu nekk after 22 years mu ñëw mu nekkaat minister in Barrow's administration. understand na loolu jógewu ci loolu yëpp teraanga la. Tey président bi si boppam moo sol daalam dem fekk la ba sa biir kër dem seeti la not daf la oo pour nga ñëw si State House bi but moom moo ñëw sa kër ñëw nuyu la seet si la booy teranga weesuwut loolu. OJ yàlla may na ko trop lii teranga la man Sarah xaw ma nanga ko gis.
No, it's positive. There's nothing wrong
definitely
with it. Although maa ngi gis people are saying on social media ne okay Barrow balaa moo dem seeti OJ dafa dem seeti xaw ma
those are haters man.
Those who are at the hospitals. Well, how many of us live even beside the hospital? Have we never visited the hospitals?
Definitely. Boy, lii dara bu ko feew dara lu mooy teranga. Ku ñaanoon tam da nga am lii.
This tells you that the president is humble.
Yeah, I believe.
Honestly,
he is humble.
I believe.
Definitely.
waaye fi mu toog si toog bi noonu nu mu toogee dafa cobe pare da mu ngi mel ni ku suur de di jaay deexa.
By the way, that was it for what's trending on social media. I didn't have enough today, but we promise tomorrow will be more interesting.
bi ma waxee ne Barrow ngay jaay deexa rek saara ree bu mu ree loo rëy lekk kat di ginaar la. Barrow let's go off for a break and then we'll come back. We'll take a look at the internationals. All right, welcome back. I think this is the last segment, international. Sarah, quickly, because we don't have enough time.
All right, I will just bring one story regarding Gambia on Al Jazeera. Gambian accused of killing for President Jammeh on trial in Germany. In Germany, a Gambian man accused of carrying out killings for former Gambian President Yahya Jammeh has gone on trial. It is a landmark case for crimes committed during Jammeh's presidency. Al Jazeera's Charles Angela reports.
For Baba Haidara, this day should have come 18 years ago. The alleged killer of his father, journalist Dada Haidara, finally on trial. Not in the Gambia where his murder took place, but in Germany. It's a significant moment not just for a son, but for a country still healing after more than 2 decades of often violent rule under President Yahya Jammeh.
This is a day we've been waiting for 18 years, so it's a big day for justice for my family and myself who started this journey in 2004. This is the beginning of a long road, because Lowe is just one of the accused. There are others, and the most important one is Yahya Jammeh, who we hope one day to see in front of a tribunal.
Bai Lo is accused of crimes against humanity and murdering 2 people at the request of Jammeh. He allegedly worked as a driver for the Junglers, a death squad that underpinned Jammeh's 22-year reign by silencing his critics. And he is the first alleged member of the gang to go on trial.
We welcome the fact that Germany has now taken the first step. There are other proceedings around the world. There is a procedure in Switzerland and one in the US. In particular, we hope that this will give a boost to justice efforts in the Gambia and that those responsible there will also be brought to justice.
Jammeh's regime was notorious for crushing dissent through murder, disappearances, torture, rape and castration. His successor, Adama Barrow, set up a South African-style Truth and Reconciliation Commission to probe allegations of abuses. But Lowe is being tried under the principle of universal jurisdiction, allowing a foreign country to prosecute crimes against humanity regardless of where they were committed. Analysts say within the Gambia there was not only a lack of judicial resources to bring about justice, but a lack of political will.
So it tells us one thing, that, perpetrators that are in the Gambia, as far as the Gambia government is concerned, perpetrators that are here may probably, some of them, not all, but some of them will likely escape punishment. But those that are outside the Gambia, and of course other countries are interested using the principle of universal jurisdiction, will have to deal with them. And those people will have to face justice at the end of the day.
Back in the Gambia, the case is being watched closely, and many hope Jammeh himself will eventually face justice.
Okay, that's it for the internationals.
All right, thank you very much. I think the Victim Center must have smiles on their faces. At least this is hope.
Justice has started.
Yeah.
Hope for them that they too, they shall surely come.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I just hope it will end well in their favor.
Yeah.
Because ñoom seen boppam noonu la ko gaa yi gisee wala noonu lañ ko bëggee réew mi yëpp sax in fact, because justice must take its course.
At least for some.
The never again slogan is something that we,
Yeah, because before never again happens, you put it into force. Justice more in your force.
Yeah.
If justice comes, then never again slogan will be more enforced. Honestly.
Yeah, it will be more enforced.
Yeah.
That never
All right, okay, that's it. Thank you very much, Zaglin. Thank you, Sarah, to the technical crew as well, and to those of you watching us in the offices, at home, in your car driving. We thank you for the pleasure of your company online as well on our Facebook page, because some people were streaming or still streaming this program. We'll be back here for another bulletin of this breakfast show tomorrow, inshallah. Thank you.